Okay, so these are some plank variations. So what we're really working for in all of these is to get just that right core position. So no matter what you're doing with your lower body or where your arms are positioned, we're still going to maintain the same relationship between the shoulder blades and the core and the pelvis. So we want to talk a little bit about what that is, okay? So here we go. So when you're doing the plank, something that most people do is from this position, we really say, okay, we're gonna push, right? Because we don't want to sag in these shoulder blades, right? So the reality is that we don't want to be here, and we don't want to be here. We want to be somewhere in between where our shoulder blades are engaged, but where we're not kind of arching our back up out of the floor. So when we find that good shoulder position, you can do this a couple times to sort of find it. Then you want to make sure that you're really pulling in with your stomach. So what happens when we get in that good shoulder position is a lot of times that this drops here. So you really want to be long in your spine, keep your belly button tucked in, and your glutes should be engaged in this position, okay? So this is a pretty good plank position. So from here, you can lift the leg, One of my favorites is to take the hips up toward the ceiling, and then come back down. Basically go into downward dog and back. You're going to get a hamstring stretch here, and then you try and come straight back to that place. Now the only advantage to doing these on the hands as opposed to the elbows is just that you get a little bit more work through your arms, through your serratus anterior. If you have wrist problems, you do the exact same thing down here. Okay, so the same idea. You're here, you want to push up, down, kind of find that neutral spine, make sure that belly button's pulled in, and then you can do those same things. You take the knees out to the side, all that good stuff, okay? So side plank, very similar. From this side position, you want to try and maintain this straight line all the way up. You want to pretend like you're being squished between two panes of glass, one on the front and one on the back. So when you come up, whether you're on your knees and working from here, while you're building that strength, or on your feet, is you want to keep this nice long open line. You don't need to do this with your hand, you can do this, you can do whatever you want, but you want everything to be stacked, and you want to just pretend like you're being squeezed. So being squeezed means being active, okay? So that means your whole core is pulling in and working, your butt's engaged, all of these musculature is working. You can also work this one from that kind of high position. So this is going to help you if you're working on Turkish get-ups, things like that. So anything where you're working on that shoulder integration, we want to emphasize that this is where we want our shoulders to be, not here and not there. So you got to find that kind of sweet spot in the middle there. All right? There's some plank variations to try.